Hello folks, it's A Automotive Reviews, and I'm here to tell you that the Ford Bronco Hybrid Sport is on the way, and an electric one is following too. Ford is bringing back the Bronco, which to many Americans has meant an iconic tough truck SUV counterpoint to the Mustang Coupe and convertible for several decades. Now the 2 and 4-door Broncos and the smaller 4-door Bronco Sport revealed recently embraced the heritage of the brand to a T. They both boxy vehicles with retro looks, serious off-road ability, and outdoor accessories, and seem conceived to be the toughest challenger to the Jeep. It has found in more than a decade since the introduction of the Toyota FJ Cruiser. But will this familiar face, spliced back into Ford narrative, also embrace a future when full-time tailpipe emissions won't meet the cut? We'll see. Maybe Ford has said that both of these models will be offered in corresponding hybrid versions, but it's provided no detail for either the tech, and rather either will be a plug-in hybrid. Now, between the Mustang Mach-E already demonstrating how Ford can make a heritage vehicle all electric, and the Jeep Wrangler 4xe plug-in hybrid due late this year. Now, Bronco Hybrid isn't just an image builder, but a competitive necessity. They have to do this. Now, the system in Ford's lineup must likely be fitted to the Bronco Hybrid, which is a body-on-frame truck related to the range pickup. Is that from the Ford F-150 Hybrid and the Ford Explorer Hybrid. It adds a modular electric motor system and a disconnect clutch to the 10-speed automatic transmission with a V6 engine. Now, according to Ford, that system emphasizes efficiency and smoothness for heavy load needs like towing, hauling, or off-roading. So we're curious to see if and how Ford might translate it to the Bronco, where the first two traits aren't important. Now, the Bronco Sport is based on the Ford Escape crossover and shares none of the softly sculpted crossover styling, but many of its spec sheet numbers. It's likely will inherit at least some of the Escape hybrid inner workings. Now, this is just about the Ford Escape, but what we see here are the pictures of the Bronco, so don't be mistaken. Now, the Escape hybrid was the latest version of the planetary torque split hybrid system that's been recently offered in the Fusion hybrid, in the C-Max, and in the form of boxy Escape generation. Now, before that, it seems an excellent 41 miles per gallon combined was nice, but it's only rated to tow 1,500 pounds. So that might not prove the best option for the rugged go-anywhere image of the likely heavier Bronco Sport. Now, for the Toyota RAV4, they have a separate rear motor, a revised power system, actually provide the strongest acceleration in the brand crossover lineup. Ford might potentially apply the same strategy in the off-road focused Bronco Sport. Now, this is all speculative for now. Now, let's go back to this image right quick. It's definitely all speculative. Now, the Bronco, of course, we all know it's going to start at about $29,995, and the Bronco Sport is $28,155, including destination fees. Although it's a long way up the ladder to the $72,500 Rivian R1S and $125,000 Bollinger B1. are the GMC Hummer EV. Now, the lack of all electric versions, at least confirmed, could make the Bronco remake seem a little more retro than intended on its arrival. So that's just about the Bronco Sport and what we'll do, and what's going to happen when that becomes either a hybrid or when it becomes an all-electric vehicle. Now back to the Broncos. Now the 2021 Ford Bronco Hybrid. Now there's going to be some things. There's going to be an electrified Ford Broncos are coming, right? That much has been known since May 2009. It was the Ford CEO, Jim Hackett. He told investors the company is adding hybrid electrics to high-volume, profitable vehicles like the Explorer and a new exciting Bronco. Hackett's statement is seemingly bolstered by a possible leak of the 2021 Bronco gauge cluster, showing graphics that would have no place on a purely internal combustion vehicle. Now, spotted in a video uploaded by Input with unconfirmed origins, seemingly created by the Ford on one of its collaborations, the EV coaching option is clearly modeled on the regenerative braking dials seen commonly in electric vehicles, used to maximize regenerative braking, such as the dial has no purpose beyond novelty in a purely internal combustion powered Bronco. Though, per Hackett quote above, the Bronco won't be gas only for long. They've got to change. They got to change with times. Now, inclusion of the nifty EV coaching feature, of course, doesn't inherently imply that the full EV will be the Bronco's first foray in electrification. Gauges like these can also be found in plug-in hybrids, PHEVs, which the Bronco-related Ranger is rumored to become for a future high-performance model. Now, a 92 horsepower, 192 foot-pounds of torque hybrid boost will allegedly take the 2.3-liter EcoBoost equipped Ranger to an amazing 362 horsepower and 502 torque. And it stands to reason that a similar powertrain could make its way into the Bronco, whose base engine is an unhybridized 2.3. This goes without speculating on the power of such a hybrid system, paired with the largest 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6, a combo which Matt suggests could produce as much as 454 horsepower and 592 foot-pounds of torque. But if there isn't quite enough space to fit both of these twin-turbo V6s and the Ranger rumored PHEV system, boy oh boy. Now the 2021 F-150 has a milder hybrid system. They may wedge in nicely, less brawny, and just a 47 horsepower boost. It'll still take the 2.7-liter Bronco beyond the 400 horsepower mark and firmly into the territory of the supposedly productive bound V8 Wrangler. Sorry about that. So while the Jeep may have dogged itself 2 steps ahead of the Ford on the electrified off-roader front, it may feel the blue oval breathing on his neck sooner than anticipated. And in the incoming knockdown, the drag-out fight between Ford and Jeep, there will be only one winner. And that winner will go to the new car buyers. You know, this gauge cluster right here, that is odd. I think this is the is that the navigation? You really can't tell if this is something really odd. I'm trying to figure out what this is. If you know what this is, let's see it in the comments. Is this 3D mapping? Is this what's in front? It don't look like it. Looking at these gauges, I'm trying to see are they electrified gauges or what. You really can't tell. What is this? You know, because of the pixelation, you can't really tell because it gets worse the more you focus in. But then when you focus out, you know, you get to see it somewhat. But when we see some of these other pics, let's focus in on what the gauges are saying. The Bronco is just astounding, folks. It's an astounding car. And it being a PHEV, our electric vehicle, is just awesome, folks. And then when you focus in on this, you really can't tell what gauges. It looks like the same. You really can't tell. Well, I always thought that blue color would be a good, you know, electric car color. Probably a little bit electric blue, you know. But I think it fits in nicely. So now, but there's a lot to expect. Now, TfL also received anonymous information about utility vehicle with green credentials, and it boils down to the 3.0 liter engine, the EcoBoost V6. With this displacement is already utilized in a plug-in hybrid application, namely the Lincoln Aviator Grand Touring. Now, as for the e-motor, that fellow is supposed to be incorporated into a 10-speed transmission. Sounds familiar. The Aviator Grand Touring, as well as the F-150 Power Boost, shared this design, so why would Ford do the same to the Bronco? Now, the next generation Ranger is also supposed to go a plug-in hybrid. Now, the Fast Lane car reports that 35 kilowatts, or 47 horsepower, should be expected from the electric motor for a grand total of 450 horsepower. Curiously enough, the cited publication says that the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon with the 4xe plug-in hybrid drivetrain develops 450 horsepower, as well along the 450 pound-feet of torque. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the Bronco PHEV is encroaching on the F-150 Raptor with these figures. If the rumor turns out to be true, these chances are that the all-new generation will switch to the Power Boost V8 mentioned earlier. Now, on the downside, a plug-in hybrid option for the Bronco automatically translates to a torque converter transmission instead of the 7-speed manual with the crawler gear for extreme off-roading and venturing. The 10-speed automatic has proven itself with flying colors in the Ford F-150 Raptor as well as the Ranger Raptor. Now, if you're really lucky, Ford may go all the way this time and offer the Aviator Grand Touring and total Lincoln luxury utility vehicle developed 494 horsepower and 630 foot-pounds of torque. As for the range of 21 miles in the EV mode is the most you can get from a mid-size SUV that tips the scale at 5,673 pounds. So there's a lot to expect. But what a beauty this is going to be. So this is going to be a Ford Bronco for all. If you want electric, if you want gas, if you want hybridization, this is just awesome, folks. You got the Sport here, and the Sport is also going to offer its own hybridization in electric cars, electric SUVs. It's just going to be, it's an awesome pick. This is AO Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Remember, share, like, and subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.